and welcome to the last session in your Finally Free journey. Today is lesson number 12 and we're going to be talking about honoring your health. We are so proud of you for all the incredible work that you've done over the last 12 sessions, and we hope that you are feeling really, really fabulous in your bodies.
Yes, we are so proud of you, and we want you to take a minute and pause this lesson and just reflect on how far you've come. So maybe your mood has been lifted, maybe you're feeling more energy, maybe your entire dieting has changed, completely shifted to intuitive eating, and we so hope that for you. We want you to know that wherever you are right now is exactly where you need to be. You have done so good. If you're here watching this video right now, that means you have done all of the videos, all of the worksheets, worked through all of your goals, and really taken the time to feel comfortable before moving on to each next lesson, which means you have invested so much time in this, and for that you should be so proud of yourself.
Definitely. It's amazing that you've chosen to invest in yourselves, and we're so happy that we got to be a part of your journey. Today we're going to be honoring your amazing journey with this last but certainly not least lesson. This is the ultimate goal, where health is what you are striving for every single day, to be healthy and to feel healthy in your body. When this is your focus, when this is your main goal, intuitive eating is just going to flow so easily. Today we're going to give you 2 final steps so that you can master honoring your health. The first step is to give up goals once and for all that are not natural for your body. And the second step is to embrace healthy as your new goal. Step number 1 is giving up the goals that are not natural for your body. By this point, you have done a lot of work with yourself, right? You've learned to listen to your body. You know what her voice sounds like. You are now giving her what she's asking for. When she's hungry, you're giving her food. When she's full, you're stopping. You've learned to respect yourself. You're exercising for fun and nourishment rather than punishment. You've totally ditched those nasty diets. You are on this total path to freedom, and hopefully you're already experiencing a lot of freedom in your life and a lot of really wonderful, vibrant health in your body. And this step, really embracing health, is the next step in that journey in cultivating that relationship with your body.
So we completely understand that giving up the goals that you know are not natural for your body can be really scary and kind of like ending a relationship. It can be really hard to do. Like maybe you've had this ideal of thinness in your mind for so long, or you've been focusing on weight loss or having this certain body, and now you're shifting your mindset to honoring your health, and instead of focusing on what your body looks like, focusing on your health at any size. So we completely understand that can be really scary for yourself. So we want you to ask yourself right now what your size and your weight even means to you. What have you let it signify to you, right? How have you let that dictate your life or the way that you do things in any way? What are you waiting to do? Start doing those things now. So now, have you ever been at the number maybe that you were thinking, your ideal number? Have you ever been there before? Maybe it's that you have been wanting to get to this number for a long time. It could be either one. If you've ever been there before, you've probably experienced that real happiness was not there, and definitely real health is not at a really thin number. I can tell you firsthand that when I was at an unrealistic number, I have never been so sick, more tired, more anxious, or anything in my whole life. I would catch so many colds. It was awful. So instead of focusing on weight loss, we now want you to be really focused on honoring your health. We want you to be at a place where hopefully you're not catching so many colds. You're eating to nourish your body. You're eating based off of how you want to feel. And you're doing things in a way that are feeling entirely just honoring and responsive to what your intuitive voice is telling you.
The way to identify if you still have kind of unhealthy goals hanging around is to think, if you are taking really great care of yourself, if health is your goal, if when you're eating you're saying, do I feel healthy when I do this? Does this exercise make me feel healthy? Is my lifestyle making me feel healthy? Do I feel good in my relationship with my body? If you're doing all those things and your body has set itself at your magic number and the place that you were trying to get is much below that, and you know that to get to that place requires you to do things like starve yourself, skip meals, these habits that over-exercise, these habits that we know are unhealthy habits, then you know that you have an unhealthy goal. Unhealthy habits produce unhealthy goals. So because you're doing so many healthy, wonderful things for yourself, you're gonna end at a really healthy, happy place. And that's the place that your body wants to be. And when you care about her enough, that's the place that you want her to be too. So anything that requires a cycle of deprivation, you know that goal is not for you. And like Paige was saying, it's okay for it to feel weird giving that up. If this is something that you've idealized in your mind, or you've made it to mean something, whatever that is, you've made it to mean happiness or success, or that's where you'll find love, whatever things that you've attached to this number or this place, it's hard to give that up. You can go through a period of mourning. It can feel sad. I know that I used to idealize super, super thin celebrities, and my body no matter how much I tried to get there, that is not a place that's not my body's composition. That's not what it's going to look like. It was hard for me when I first started this to just give that up, to say, you know what? That's never going to be my body. That's not healthy for my body. But the more that I cared about myself, the more that I cultivated that relationship for myself, I didn't want to hurt her. I didn't want to starve her. I didn't need to be those unhealthy things. I realized that success, happiness, thriving in my body came at a different place and not that unhealthy place. So we really want you to think through if there's any of those unhealthy goals hanging around and just be able to let those go and instead embracing that health.
Now we are at step number 2, which is the last step in your intuitive eating program, Finally Free. So this step is embracing healthy as your new goal. So now that you've given up this idea of an unrealistic, unnatural, thin body, we want to redirect you to a new goal of having a healthy body.
Yeah, and this may take some reminding, right? Like you may have to remind yourself multiple times a day, my new goal is to be healthy. My goal is to be healthy. You can tell yourself this before, during, after meals. You can tell yourself this anytime that you feel unrealistic pressure creeping in to look like a model in a magazine, or you hear your friends talking about a new diet that they're using. Remember in session 1 when we talked about you're giving up diets for forever, but there are going to be those times where you may want to diet again. This is the most powerful thing you can do in those moments, is to remind yourself, my goal is not what they're looking for with that diet. My new goal is to be healthy. Repeat that to yourself over and over again. Really create that kind of dialogue in your mind. You're thinking about being healthy. You're giving yourself the permission to be healthy.
And I think too, kind of echoing off that, when you're reminding yourself, remind yourself of what it would mean to be unrealistically thin. Being unrealistically thin would mean that you have to do things that are really unrealistic to stick to forever, which would be being so, I don't want to go over too many of them, but just being so strict with your diet, over exercising, just having all of this pressure. It would probably mean outside pressure coming in. It's not fun at all to try and force your body to a spot where it's not supposed to be. So really, if that's not a fun process, that means that you're not going to be any happier in that place, because then in order to stay in that place, it's going to be even harder and even more miserable. So when you hear people in the future talking about dieting, or maybe your friend went on this this quick diet. She lost a lot of weight, and now she's at this place where you're like, that's where I wanted to be. You know, that's that ideal body that I've always thought that I needed to have, and she got there. Remind yourself that that's probably not a realistic spot. It takes a lot of effort to stay in that spot, and it's not going to make you happy. What is going to make you happy is continuing to listen to your body, adjust how you feel. You can always adjust how you feel. So if you're feeling a little bit tired, a little bit off, a little bit low energy, or even a little bit heavier than you would like to feel, you can always adjust that just by looking inside and asking yourself, what's been off? What haven't I been paying attention to? What steps in the intuitive eating process can I focus on? What finally free videos can I go back and rewatch over and over? You always want to come back to intuitive eating and leave dieting away. Remember, in the first session, we broke up with diets for good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're a product of our choices and our beliefs that we've had in the past. So remember that when you're making your choices from a place of wanting to be healthy, you are going to have this abundant future full of health and happiness. Mm-hmm. So we're so excited that you took this journey with us.
We are so happy that you took this journey with us. Thank you so much, girls, for being here. And if you need any further contact or you have any questions for us, just go to the contact form right here in your login site, and you can fill that out, and either Simi or I will be there to respond for you.
Absolutely. Take care.